Oh, let's see. Good morning, Chela.
Good morning, Susan.
Good morning and greetings to one and all this beautiful day.
Thank you for sharing with us your presence today, either here in the sanctuary or in our online sanctuary.
We are grateful to be sharing this work of worship associates today with our candidate for UUSM's settled ministry, the Reverend Diana Smith. This morning, we have a poem about the act of possibilities coming to us in 6 haiku, quietly guided. Ooh, this is your
That's
part.
all right. Quietly guided by the letters of a single word that Susan and I know intimately over the last many months. The word is search.
We invite you to listen for it as it reveals itself.
S is for searching, voices and echoes and time, some deep mysteries.
Possibility begins in not knowing. Mystery is not a problem to solve, but a space to remain open with.
E is for eager, to know and to be known, space and time limit.
Possibility lives in relationship, in the willingness to reach beyond ourselves, to be changed by connection.
A is for always, reply to one and all, hearts through the email.
Possibility is a kind of openness that grows when we are willing to engage and answer and to be in dialogue.
R is for reaching. At the end, we must combine souls, alone and one.
Possibility is the bridge between alone and one.
C is for change. Open to a map, we draw roads in history.
Possibility is something we create, not fixed. We are all participants in shaping what comes next.
H is for us, here. Today is one time and place. Today in care and love.
Possibility is grounded in the present moment.
Not abstract, not distant.
Here in how we show up with one another.
To search is already an act of possibility.
To search is to assume there is something more to discover, something not yet known, something not yet formed.
May we hold all of this with open hearts, trusting what is still unfolding within us and among us.
And may we trust that even now, something meaningful is quietly taking shape within us.
May we arrive fully in this moment, just as we are, open to what might yet become.
May we remain open to the possibilities before us, even those we cannot yet see.
Let us hold this moment with care, curiosity, and openness.
Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Diana Smith. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a somewhat tall white woman with short, curly white and brown hair, wearing a pale green robe and a very colorful quilted stole. And I am this congregation's candidate for settled ministry. So if you're newer to this congregation, what that means is that I've been here this past week, meeting with members of this wonderful congregation as we find out if we're a good fit. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with y'all and discovering what a vibrant ministry we'll be able to create together. Whether you've been a part of this congregation all your life or have just found us this morning, whether you join us today with joy in your heart, weighted with burdens, or searching for meaningful connections, we are glad that you are here. We're grateful to gather for a time of inspiration, reflection, and connection. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, spiritual paths, theologies, classes, abilities, and health statuses, we know how important it is to come together and work together to create a radically welcoming spiritual community. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious movement that draws from many religious, spiritual, and humanistic traditions. Our faith expresses our core value of love through how we agree to be together and support each other. And we're guided in this by the shared principles, sources, and values of our living religious tradition. This morning, as we delve into the possibilities that come with creating community, we'll celebrate our values of interdependence and generosity, which invite us to develop a spirit of gratitude and hope, connected to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Worship doesn't happen in a vacuum. Many people work throughout the week to make sure it goes well. And this morning, we'd like to thank our ushers and greeters, the tech team who've been working with me on sound this week. Yes, we heard you. Yeah. Our musicians, Ryan Humphrey and our section leaders, coffee crew, parking and sextons, the cottage keepers led by Jessica Tenhave Pace, and our worship associates who shared that beautiful poem. We worship here on the corner of 18th and Arizona, acknowledging that this land and the land that many of us live on belonged first to the people who are known as Gabrielino, Chumash, and Tongva. We pause to acknowledge the lives that were lost and the hearts that were broken as this land was taken from its original inhabitants. And now I share with you our chalice lighting for this morning, who comes from Reverend Hope Johnson, who wrote, "We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits, here not by coincidence, but because we choose to journey together. We are active and proactive. We care deeply. We live our love as best we can. We are one. Working, eating, laughing, playing, singing, storytelling, sharing and rejoicing, getting to know each other, taking risks, opening up, questioning, seeking, searching, trying to understand, struggling, making mistakes, paying attention, living our answers, learning to love our neighbors, learning to love ourselves, apologizing and forgiving with humility, being forgiven through grace, creating the beloved community together. We are one." And we have people coming in, so if you have space in the middle of your row and you can kind of scooch in a little bit, and there's also space over here, those folks would appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And now our opening hymn is come and go with me. And our section leaders are going to lead us.
Rise in body or spirit.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship. Thus do we covenant with each other.
El amor es la enseñanza de esta iglesia. Buscar la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es la oración. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en la libertad, servir a la humanidad en comunión. Así es como convenimos unos a otros.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Tenhave Place, and I'm the Director of Multi-Generational Religious Education in this community. And right now is when we collect food donations for the West Side Food Bank. So if you have a donation, please raise your hand, and one of our young helpers will be out there to grab that for you and bring it to the front. Thank you so much, everyone. And I can announce that on May 17th, Children and Youth RE will be doing a special service day at the Westside Food Bank warehouse. So we'll be packing some food boxes that will be going out directly to people who are in need. So we're really excited for our kids and families to get the experience of seeing the work that goes into getting all of the food that we bring in out to people in our community. So we'll be doing that May 17th, and you can email me if you'd like to join us. But let's see, I'm glad we have lots of donations out there today. Thank you, everyone. And don't forget, you can also bring pet food donations or other toys, blankets, pet items for some of our animal shelters, as well as for the human friends who are perhaps struggling to provide for their animal companions. So we accept those donations as well. All right, thank you. Thank you, Teddy. He's got a lot of stuff there. Quinn's got some cereal, all kinds of good donations for the West Side Food Bank. All right, these are the days that I like, where we have almost too many donations than we can carry. Thank you, everyone. Generosity is an important value to us, and I'm so glad to see everyone giving for those who are most in need in our community. Good job, everybody. And now, if y'all want to meet us here on the steps, any other kids out there who would like to come forward, meet us on the steps, and Reverend Diana is going to be joining me for our Time for All Ages today.
Yeah, come on over.
Welcome, everyone. You'll make your way over here. There's some more seats open over here. Sebastian, if you want to join us.
Anyone want to come over here? I'm going to have a storybook with some pictures that you might want to look at.
Thank you, guys. We're wearing matching shirts today. Cool. Good to see y'all.
Hey. So today, we are talking about creating communities. Creating communities takes hard work, as well as listening to one another and showing love and care. But it also takes something really important that we sometimes forget. It takes imagination. Before we can make something into a reality, we have to be able to imagine it.
And I think, Reverend Diana, even if we don't feel like we're the most creative person in the room, imagination is a power that we all have. And it reminds me of a book that we read last year in RE, so we'll see if anyone remembers it who was there, called The Dot, which I think you have there, right?
I do.
So it's about a girl named Vashti who doesn't think she can draw when she goes into art class. So her teacher challenges her to draw anything she can, and she makes a dot, just like we have on our board up here.
Okay, so I'm going to read you a little bit of this book. So Vashti's teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." You see, there's a little dot. That's all there is. It's just a dot. But the teacher asked her to sign it. And Vashti thought for a moment, well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. And there she is, signing her name, Vashti. I agree with you, Emerson. Everyone can draw. And so did Vashti's art teacher, because next week, when Vashti walked into class, she was surprised to see what she was surprised to see what was happening, what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in a swirly gold frame. Vashti thought, I can make a better dot than that. And she opened up her never-before-used watercolor set and set to work. And I'm just going to show you a little bit of what she created, because she painted and painted and made dots of so many colors. And she made dots, pictures made all of dots, and pictures made from the absence of dots. She just made dots into everything.
I love that. I'm really inspired by that story to think about how we can use something as simple as just a dot, right, to sort of get our imaginations started around what we're working on together, which is to create community together. So we have this big dot on the board here, and we can use our imaginations to transform it into something that could help us create community. So Reverend Diana, I wonder if you have any inspirations from that dot.
Well, for me, this dot makes me think of a seed. Because y'all may know I'm a gardener, so I think about a community garden and some of the plants that could grow from this seed.
I love that idea, and we even have a little bit of land out there, a little plot that we could be using to grow more flowers like that. So that's a great idea. Thank you, Reverend
Thanks.
Diana. Can I try?
Yeah.
Let's see. We're just starting with a dot. I'll leave your flower there, but this reminded me of how when my cat is curled up just in like a little circle like that. And it makes me think of how our friends from the animal ministry are going to be doing a trip out to a farm sanctuary on May 3rd. And so that's somewhere I could go to meet other friends who love animals like I do.
That's awesome. Does anybody else have any other ideas of what this dot could be?
Yeah, what do you guys think? What would you turn that dot into?
Well, I could turn that dot into something like a planet.
I heard a planet and a shark. Very
Okay.
good creative
If I can
ideas.
get this.
Yeah, what do you think, Quinn?
Okay.
A turtle?
planet.
Yeah, we see a turtle, a planet, a shark. Do we have one over here? I can bring her the mic.
You can talk into the mic now.
I think it could be a whale.
A whale, even.
whale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea. What do you think?
How do you make a whale?
What was the game?
Help me.
That's okay. You can keep thinking. That's the great thing. Imagination is a process, and when we all work together, we can even give each other more ideas. Great white shark. Tanisha.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
I've got a helper.
marine
Thank you.
biology fans here. Oh, Sebastian, do you want to share?
Orca.
Orca. I think maybe this means we should all go on a trip to the
Aquarium?
aquarium.
That would be
Yeah, one of these
amazing.
days. We have could learn more about sea animals together. Any other ideas? I think when I see a circle too, I think about how I could make a pizza that I get to share with all my friends.
Thank you. Okay.
I could make a jellyfish. My mom requested that.
Yeah, jellyfish for Emerson's mom. See, but I love this. We just have so many different ideas, and it shows that you guys have a great imagination to work with.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your ideas and your imaginations with us. Your imaginations are so important because young people can help us break out of old ways of doing things that might not work so great anymore and imagine new ways of doing things that we've never tried. So I'm looking forward to the chance to get to know y'all better because every single one of you matters to this community. Your unique hearts and minds will help us do an even better job of creating community that can be a home for all different kinds of people. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Reverend Diana, for being part of All Time for All Ages and showing off her drawing skills for us. Very great. And so we're going to go continue our imaginative time together in the cottage as we go out singing Go Now in Peace.
At this time, we'd like to draw your attention to a few announcements seen in your Thursday e-newsletter, today's order of service, and our website. Announcement 1, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Okay, Siri's not listening. I need her to power down, but she's not listening. Oh, but wait, Siri up here is, she's like, what's going on here?
We are always honored to welcome all visitors. Please find out more about who we are and what we are about at our in-person visitor meetup, which is on the first Sunday service of each month. The next one is next Sunday, May 3rd, in the cottage. Bring your questions and find out more about how you and so many others could align with our Unitarian Universalist values, which are ever evolving.
May 3rd at 12:20, celebrate Earth Sunday at our annual Green Living Fair and Veggie Potluck. Learning about sustainable gardening, vegan food, saving energy and water, getting around, and protecting our earth. Please bring a vegan or veggie dish to share with an ingredient list attached. Tables will be set up with lots of great ideas of how you can live more sustainably, with advice from those who have made changes in their own homes and lives. And be sure to wear green for the group photo.
It is not too late to return your annual pledge card at the stewardship table in the courtyard. So go ahead, if you haven't picked it up yet, initiate that. And if you haven't returned it yet, look into that. We have custom buttons, and when you finish your pledge, a custom lanyard. But please take a moment to think about, with your financial supplies or your volunteer supplies, supporting our church and our nation with your generous giving.
And finally, please stay for a special congregational meeting after the service at 12:30 p.m. here in the sanctuary. Additionally, there are proxy vote slips available if you cannot make it, and if you need a proxy vote, see Shana Shaked right over there, and she will provide you with it.
And just as is our democratic tradition, that is a vote for members at this time. And speaking of time, it is time to greet your neighbor. Shortly, we'll have some time set aside for you all to talk to each other, greet one another, try to reach out to those you know, and those maybe you don't know. But keep your ears open for Ryan's gentle piano chords that will usher us back to our seats.
shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, as life from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known, we shall be. We shall be known, we shall be. We shall be known, we shall be known. We shall be known, company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known, we shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the world. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time, it is time, it is time, it is time, it is time we lead ourselves into the world. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in
As a great mystic once said, if I had only one prayer for the rest of my life, let it be thank you. Thank you. We have a couple joys and sorrows this morning. First, Jason Buell's father, Warren Buell, passed away at his home in Delray Beach, Florida on Saturday, April 25th, after a battle with cancer. Jason was with him when he passed. We also have a joy. Janet and Carl Lisowski share the joy that their daughter Angela, who grew up in this church, got engaged on the Italian Amalfi Coast. What a cycle of life we have, and we are privileged to share. I share with you this morning a meditation and prayer by Victoria Weinstein, who writes, "The church is a body. May this body breathe and be together in the spirit of hope. May it feel held by comfort. Those who seek consolation, may they find it in the solace of this moment. The church is a body. It is as strong as all the people who have ever gathered within its walls. It is the power of all they dreamed and all they have done. The church is a body. It is as vulnerable as the most newborn and untried of its members. It is ancient, and it is ever new. The church is a story. It is the story of lives that are interwoven, brought together in this time and in this place, for the simple purpose of caring for one another and helping one another along the arduous path from birth to death. The church is a vision. It is a vision of unity amid diversity. It is a vision of reverence for all creation. It is a vision that beckons us beyond the concerns of our own skins. In the silence that we hold together, may we abide as one body in the spirit of faith, hope, and love that is the story and the vision of the church. Our reading today comes from Rosemary Watola Trommer, who writes, "There are so many boundaries in me, so many limitations, prisons, places where a line has been drawn, perhaps by another, perhaps by me. The lines say, stop. The lines say, don't be curious. They say, make yourself small, now smaller. But imagination is the big pink eraser that rubs out the lines, smears them and disappears them. Sometimes it's more like a tear, a small rip in the known that bids me look through the lines, as if peeking through a curtain. And sometimes the imagination takes a line and bends it, twists it like a clown with a balloon, until what I thought was a boundary becomes a bird, becomes crown, becomes flower. Or it turns the line perpendicular, so that what I thought was a deadline becomes a path. I want to listen for the voices beyond the boundaries, want to open to what I can't see. I want to hear the welcome of the horizon and, like a bell calling me home, let it lead me. Yesterday evening, down at the beach, we found a lot of by-the-wind sailors washed up on the shore. If you've been wondering what these little plastic-looking things are, they are the remnants of by-the-wind sailors. Each of these curious little creatures, which are closely related to jellyfish and the Portuguese man of war, is actually made up of many individuals. The many individuals all have specific functions. They work together to make one individual by-the-wind sailor. And it's pretty amazing to think about how that works. The by-the-wind sailors move around together in large groups, carried by the wind that catches their sail. This is a sail. And right now, they've been carried here by the wind. Now, I found them fascinating and loved looking at what remained of them, these little things, the soft skeletons that give them shape, marveling at the ones that were still living with all their many parts. When they're alive, it's blue down here, and there are all these little tendrils that come down, and they create a toxin that helps them collect planktonic organisms for feeding. And then in here, they have a gelatinous digestive system. And you can imagine what this would look like. So you can imagine what they would look like, how all those little pieces work together to create one organism. You can imagine the ways that each by-the-wind sailor functions, all with different individuals carrying out their work to make one organism. And I was fascinated by imagining how they move together in the ocean, carried by the wind. I invite you to look at them if you'd like to. You can even come up here and grab them and pass them around if you want. They're very cool. Unitarian Universalist minister, Reverend Mark Morrison Reed, writes that there is a central task of religious community, and that is to reveal the bonds that bind each to all, to reveal relationship, to inspire us, to strengthen us. Perhaps a little like the bonds that allow the by-the-wind sailors to function as creatures made up of many individuals, each with their own purpose, gathered together to make an organism, and then larger rafts of sailors that are carried around by the ocean winds. When we have a central task, that is what we're constantly exploring, what's constantly showing up in our worship services, in our play, in our work together, whether it is online or in person. The quest to perceive, to understand, to revel in, and to be strengthened by the bonds that connect, that bind us all. Depending on how we move in the world, we might think about this as interdependence, as God in process theology, or more mystically, as the unseen force that connects every living and non-living thing. In congregations, I like to think about this as exploring and learning about some of the many shapes of love that help us create communities with more opportunities for flourishing. I also like to think about it as the process of co-creating community. As we explore our central task, as we imagine and learn about and live into some of the many shapes of love, we're endeavoring to help ourselves and each other move into more alignment with our values. Anytime there's a central task, there will need to be many ways of tending it, of giving it shapes. Now we can see this in part of the many different forms that Unitarian Universalists and other congregations take, and in how we make community in them over time and place. I've heard undertones of this from many of you who are longtime UUs, as we've spoken this week. We can also see this in the many different things that people do that make a congregation what it is. We work to make the bonds that bind us apparent, to discover some of the many shapes of love, even, or perhaps especially, when our egos, our exhaustion, our losses, our comfort, our desire for a singular answer, our fears, when life and the competing demands of the world get in the way. That is part of the power and significance of religious community when it's functioning well, as a place that helps us continue to understand, to imagine, to live into those connections, those shapes of love, when our socialization or our lesser impulses get in the way. We identify different shapes of love as we co-create communities that celebrate learning and growing, that seek to build from our strengths with humility of knowing that we've made plenty of mistakes. I've experienced some of these this week. For example, when we've gathered to share meals and stories, and I've experienced genuine connection, along with care for my dietary needs, always important, and the earth that is our home. When our young friends have shared their wisdom about creating communities of mattering and imagination during our times for all ages, and when our youth and young adults have shared their insights into creating gathering spaces, and yesterday evening, when one of them brought me community garden flowers at the beach. I've experienced some of these shapes when so many of you have gathered with me in various meetings and showed the beautiful community of caring that you've created in laughter, gentle teasing, sorrows and cares that are shared, and so many, many stories that stretch across the years and decades. When you've shared your stories of finding UUSM, your joys, your griefs, your longings, and your hopes. I've also witnessed some of the shapes of love and things I've come to know about you. This congregation's intellectual and spiritual depth and breadth, and your vibrant and creative religious education opportunities for children, youth, and adults. Your warm relationships, caring community, generous volunteer bases, strong participation, and the ways you're wrestling with how to widen your circles of welcoming, even when that means moving out of your comfort zones. The ways that your anti-oppression, justice, and interfaith work are deeply woven into your UU identity, particularly around food insecurity, economic justice, LGBTQ pride and welcoming, the eighth principle, and the action reflection model that you have between your Faith and Action Commission and the Intersectional Anti-Racism, Anti-Oppression Commission. I've seen it in the work that you're doing on governance and clarifying roles, your work to develop and live into your covenant of right relations, what you've learned about transparency, communication, mutual expectations, and collaboration, and your vibrant programs and amazing campus. These are some of the things that I've been experiencing, but I wonder this morning, what are some of the ways that you have experienced love showing itself here? That you've learned about the bonds that bind us all, that people have helped create beloved community in this congregation. I invite you to share a few of those with me right now, and I'm going to repeat them back into the microphone so everybody can hear them. Anyone, what's a way that you've experienced love showing itself here? Music, through music for sure. In hugs, in nice consensual hugs, right? Yes, yes. Yeah. goodness. Okay, I heard laughter here, and also in someone washing all the dishes after the picnic. That is love, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else somebody wants to share? Pastoral care, definitely one of the ways that it shows up, both in the care we get from pastoral care associates and our ministers, but also the care that every single person gives each other. Because one of the beautiful things about this congregation is y'all have worked to make pastoral care the work of everyone, not just the work of a few. Thank you. Yes? Sharing memories through photos. Sharing the many ways we create community. Yes. In religious education, especially for our children and youth. Yes. Sharing our stories. So many of them. So many of them. In food. Food. Oh, thank you. Yes. In readiness to listen, yes. Because one of the challenges of creating community that allows us to learn about some of the healthy shapes of love is building the safety and trust to do so in a world that emphasizes comfort and certainty as safety. As Maurice Mitchell shared in a conversation with Prentice Hemphill on the podcast Becoming the People, safety is actually generated through relationship and connection. It's about being a healthy we, a healthy collective. Safety is about doing the inner work to recognize and trust that there is enough connection here within ourselves and amongst our communities to do the hard work, to bear the tension, to move forward. It's about being able to imagine various reasons for being where we are and being curious about how people understand the world and our values. It's about being curious about and imagining various possible futures and how we can work together to create them. Getting inspired and supported by each other helps make this possible. Learning about and leaning into difference or pluralism helps too, as does understanding generosity as a force that invites us to develop a spirit of gratitude and hope and helps us connect with each other in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. These things help us call ourselves and each other in, recenter covenant, attend to how we build community, and be whole human beings, learning and growing together. These things are part of living love fully and fiercely into the world. Because the love that we find in our congregations when we're at our best isn't always gentle. Sometimes we need the soft embrace, the comfort, the nurturing in the midst of the difficulties of life. Sometimes we need the strong, the courageous, the fierce love of justice and transformation. And almost always we need these various shapes of love shared in combination, lived fully and fiercely. Because safety is generated through relationship, connection, and creating a healthy collective. It's about doing the inner work to recognize and trust that there is enough connection here within ourselves and in our communities to do the hard work, to bear the tension, to move forward. And that work isn't for the faint of heart. But even when we are faint of heart, the good news is that we can borrow courage, creativity, and imagination from each other in community. As Reverend Hope Johnson alluded to in our chalice lighting, when we choose to journey together, when we work, eat, sing, play, laugh, tell stories, take risks, open up, question, seek, search, make mistakes, apologize, forgive with humility, and receive openness with grace, we are living an imagined future into being as beloved community. I invite you to think about, to wonder about, to share how your imagination has helped you lean into co-creating beloved community here at UUSM and how it might help us in the future. There are so many, many possibilities that come with creating community. The process we go through is the product. What we do is what we're creating. What we notice matters. Because what we pay attention to grows and turns into how we live and what we do. And so, may we continue to devote ourselves to the central task of religious community. May we continue to notice and strengthen the bonds that bind us all. May we discover and co-create many healthy shapes of love. May we build the trust we need to do the work. May we create the beloved community together as one organism, each with our own role. May we be one. Blessed be. Amen.
Your offering today supports the many folks who make this congregation a home, those working in animal ministry, the green team, all who participate in pastoral care, the intersectional anti-racism, anti-oppression, and the Faith in Action commissions, and indeed the work of the ministerial search team. In addition, half of our Sunday offering this month is dedicated to the Rainforest Action Network.
The Rainforest Action Network preserves forests, protects the climate, and upholds human rights by challenging corporate power and systemic injustice through frontline partnerships and strategic campaigns. RAN works towards a world where rights and dignity of all communities are respected, and where healthy forests, a stable climate, and wild biodiversity are protected and celebrated. Stopping deforestation, defunding climate change, and supporting communities is what they campaign for. Caring for the earth is caring for one another. May our giving today be an expression of that shared responsibility and of our commitment to protect the web of life that we are all a part of. We invite you now to contribute in whatever way feels right to you. Ways to give are displayed on the slide behind me. All the ways of receiving support are gratefully accepted. Cash or checks can be placed in the offertory bags that will be passed around shortly.
Thank you for all that you give monetarily and also through your time and care at this congregation and beyond.
The ushers are now invited to come forward. Your offering will be gratefully received.
There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know.
There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more fires burning, they will find their way to me. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. Mountains fall, this I know, this I know. There are
falling, they will find their way to me.
There are more mountains falling, this I know, there are more mountains falling, this I know.
I will wade through the waters, this I know, this I know. I will wade through the waters, this I know. I will wade through the waters, where they find their way to me. We will wade through the waters, this I know, this I know. We will wade through the waters, this I know. I will walk through the fire, this I know, this I know. I will walk through the fire, this I know. I will walk through the fire when they find their way to me. I'll walk through the fire, this I know, this I know. I will walk through the fire, this I know.
I will rebuild the mountains, this I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know.
I will rebuild the mountains when they find their way to me.
I will rebuild the mountains, this I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know.
So our closing hymn is called This Boat. It's a new hymn for Our closing hymn is called This Boat. It's a new hymn for all of us. So we're going to teach you the refrain. So we're gonna sing a few phrases and you're gonna repeat after us. Stand up in body or in spirit. So listen first.
This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard.
Your turn. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. Ready? 1, 2.
This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard.
Good. Next part.
When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore.
Everyone. 1, 2.
When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore.
All right, so that'll be our refrain, and we're gonna have our verses that we can do, but you guys can try to join in if you'd like. And then when we get to all of us, let's all sing. All right. 1, 2, 1.
This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready,
you might think it's time for the benediction, but we have some more announcements.
Well, first off, just a thanks to amazing voices in this congregation. Extraordinary, and it's so nice to hear new music, too. One additional announcement is after our special congregational meeting today, there will be a luncheon provided, so do keep that in mind as you stay late.
And I missed a joy that Alicia Hendricks Richmond, our very own Worship Associates Susan's daughter, celebrated their senior recital last Sunday, April 19th, through the Conservatory of Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin. Yes. Yes, a talented musician through 5 original compositions, along with an ensemble of players, Lee sang and played their cello deftly. Lee will be graduating with a Bachelor of Musical Arts with a cognate in Ethnic Studies and will be in New York City in the fall as an intern at the music business through the New York Arts Program. Congratulations, Lee. Susan. And now, as you go out into the world this day and this week, may you go learning about and living into the many shapes of love. Go in peace, love, and justice, living love ever more fully and fiercely into this world. Amen and blessed be.